gentlemen and beautiful ladies. I'm pissed off at chicken soup. Tired of that crock pot chicken soup. And if you go, well, I use boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Help me Lord, right? So here's the deal. Fat is king. Going with some chicken hearts today and chicken legs. I'm going to boil that in the minimum amount of water. After about an hour, I'm going to pull out these chicken legs and I'm going to cut all the meat off the bone and the cartilage. I'm going to dice that out. I'm looking for texture. Normal chicken soup, it's kind of like a broth with melted vegetables in it. You know what I'm talking about. I am not doing that. I'm not going to put in a bunch of noodles and let them roll all day long. If you want noodles, cook them on the side and add them to the soup as you eat it. Same thing for rice. Don't throw it in there. Main ingredients today is an onion, some ginger root, a bunch of these little bouillon cubes, and I'm going to go ahead and add a couple of these manjarata, whatever they are. I grow them in the backyard. Tastes like a lime and an orange mixed. And then just grab you some vegetables. We're going to throw that in there. Once I get all the vegetables and everything in there, I'm going to have to taste it. I'll probably have to add more salt, maybe a little bit of pepper, or maybe one of my spices, I don't know. I'm going to have to take it from there. I'm also going to add just a few of these for a hint of spiciness. No big deal today. Let's give it a shot, see how this comes out. I'm hoping. Put the ginger root in at the very beginning. And of course your bouillon at the very beginning. And this is what's going to thicken it up. I like a thick broth. Cornstarch. That's why I'm going to use minimal water at the beginning, because I'm going to be dumping in a big old cup of this to thicken it up. Get all this bouillon in there. Now, I like the fat. That's why I'm going with all the fat. You know, a lot of people, they're like, chicken breast. No. They remove the skin. All that's going in mine. I want something, I don't even know what I'm going to call this. But you'd never see it. Everybody takes all the good stuff out. Cardio diet. Nobody wants thin broth. You need the fat. And the ginger root, we're going to throw it in. I'm leaving the skin on it. It actually kicks up the flavor. If you do not like ginger, obviously don't put it in. I can't get enough of that stuff. Probably got a worm or something. And with these chicken hearts, they're going to be kind of minerally, but I really like them. I could cut these all up. And this is probably too much. I mean, that's a lot of chicken hearts. But I don't care. I'm a meat eater. I do have a bigger pot. I actually should use a big giant pot, but I'm not doing that. Hell, maybe this is a stew. I don't know. That's pretty much it. I'm going to add some water. Now I'm going to boil that for 1 hour. Pull out those chicken legs, cut all the meat off, like I said, throw it back in. I'm going to cut up all these vegetables, and then at that point I'm going to drop in all the vegetables. And then after about 45 minutes I'm going to taste everything, and then I'll season accordingly. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to let that boil an hour, and as you can see all this fat? That'll break down. This is going to be a dark soup. Right there, that's all the flavor. Actually, it looks kind of nasty. So while that started to boil, I go in the pantry. I'm looking around, seeing what else I can throw into this masterpiece that I'm making, right? Gonna put in a handful of red beans, because they're always fun to pick out of soup. You know, they're in there, you're kind of digging around, yeah, you know, and then you see a big red bean. It's got all that flavor in it. So these got to go in, obviously, at the beginning of the cook, so I'm going to dump in a handful of them. Well, check this out, y'all. This is getting better and better. I found some green onions growing in the backyard, and I went and I picked some fresh peppers. Those are fresh. I just picked them the other day, but these are right off the vine, and of course the green onion. Just going to keep adding and adding. Get you some jasmine rice. If you've never tried jasmine rice, get you some jasmine rice. This soup's going way off from my original plan. It was going to be simple, but now it's turning into a Frankenstein. I'm digging around in the pantry. That's probably a dangerous thing right here. See that? This is pork skins in prime. So I'm going to pull a few of these out. Like I said, I'm after the texture. When I want to chew into this, I want something rubbery and crunchy from the cartilage, and this skin is going to be real rubbery. Probably use this as fishing bait. But anyway, I'm going to dice some of this up, throw it in there just for the mix. Because, you know, this is a whole zone on the Deep Fried King channel. This is like zombie apocalypse cooking, I think. Look, it says Rydell on it. Woo! Ooh. I'm just going to dice this up. This is one of those foods my wife likes to complain about being in the pantry. It's one of those mystery meats you find in stuff. Yeah, that ought to work. Let's throw that in the pot. I figured out what I'm going to season this with. I already went ahead and put in some black pepper. There's a few little pieces of white pepper in there. Give it a good shot of that. And I'm going to go ahead and add my steak seasoning. And if you want to know why, it's because the jar is almost empty. And really, that's the reason. This is rocket science right here. It's all gone. Just dumped it in. Now, for the 4 women that actually watch this cooking channel, don't be offended. You know, I realize I'm talking about your chicken soup. I know I talked about your mama's chicken soup. And I even threw grandma under the bus. Right? Don't get all mad. It's just I'm cooking like a dude. You know, it just is what it is. Like right now you're probably watching this and your husband's in there playing on his phone, got the game on, he ain't paying attention to nothing. He's just sitting there while you're in here slaving, right? You're sweating and you're making some chicken soup. Deal is, go get him. Go get him, kick his butt outside. Go in the backyard. Just go get him, throw him out in the backyard, go do something in the backyard. Well, he's going to go out in there in the backyard, he's going to look around. Now, it doesn't matter that there's a 65 Chevy sitting there, you know, with the hood off, and he's going to rebuild it, or the barbecue pit's taken apart and it's laying all over the yard, and whatever. There's projects everywhere. He's just going to go sit out there and go, well, what the hell? Oh man, I pissed her off, you know. So he's going to be sitting out there. But there is salvation. He's going to look across the yard. He's going to see that wasp nest. He's going to see that wasp nest. He's going to go, oh yeah, hell yeah. First thing he's going to think about is grabbing the hose and hosing them all down. But he knows better because he's done that before and he's got his ass stung. But he's got a jar of Raid. So he's going to go grab that jar of Raid and he's just, whole can, from 20 feet away. And the more wasps that just drop dead right there, like that, the better he feels. So he's going to kill them all. He's going to come in. He's going to be strutting. And then you've got this chicken soup going on. That's broth. It's just watery broth. Hey, if you just did battle, you can't come in. You got to eat. You got to have some meat. You got to have some texture. You got to have something. It's like going to the bar and having a beer and there's no peanuts or pretzels on the counter. You know, you drinking your beer, you got to have something to chomp on. That's just the way it is. So I've actually stopped myself. I was going to add some corn into this and everything else, but I'm just going to hold it right there. So ladies, don't get too offended that I talk trash about your grandma's chicken soup. It is what it is. But I got to get this chicken out of there and strip it off the bone. Cartilage and all. No bones, just the cartilage. Because you got to have some crunch. Now ladies, be warned. If you did get your husband off the couch, put down his phone, go out, and he just did battle with all the wasps in the backyard, yeah. You need to guard your chicken soup. If you just love your chicken soup the way it is, because what's going to happen is, he's going to come in the kitchen, he's going to be walking around like this, and you're going to wander off, turn on a soap opera or something, and he's going to do one of these numbers. And then he's going to grab something out of the refrigerator and throw it in that chicken soup. Because it's just the way we are. We got to poke on stuff. You know, you put a guy out in the backyard, like I said, he's walking along, there's a snake. Oh, he's going to grab a stick and start poking on it. It's just the way we're wired. You just got to poke on stuff. I'll leave that one there. I'll just leave it there. Now check this out. This chicken soup, it's got a funky color. Sure does. That's because of the chicken hearts. It's not all clear. It's almost looking like a stew. But that's all flavor. As you can tell, look, check it out. You can see on this meat, it's just falling off the bone. That's what you want. Now while that meat's cooling a little bit so that I don't burn my hands off, I'm going to go ahead and add all these potatoes. Can add these onions. Actually, these are scallions. Just an onion. We're going to add this limey thing. I wish I knew the name of these things. Like I said, they grow on a tree in my backyard. That's going to give it a little something something. I'm going to go ahead and add the peas. But I'm going to leave the bok choy to the very end. I'm just going to throw that in at the end because I want it crunchy. Now you see this cartilage here? If you don't like it, don't put it in. But that's not how I'm rolling today. Of course, there's this bone that comes down the side. You don't want that. But you want all that cartilage, the skin, and then you want to cut this up into like bite-sized pieces, just like that. We're going to go dump this back into that pot. That's not looking too bad. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to add this cornstarch in here. This is starting to come back to a boil, and it's thickening up, and as you can tell, all that fat has saturated everything inside it. Cardio diet right there. Okay, look at this. It's starting to boil, but you can tell that cornstarch has just thickened it up. It's almost like a gravy. None of that thin stuff. Alright, y'all. I know what you're thinking. What happened to the bok choy? It's right here. Gonna go ahead and add this right now. That is the final add. And then we're gonna cover it and turn it off. Don't even have to cook that stuff. That stuff gets real mushy real fast, so we want it crunchy. Alright, y'all, this is finished. As you can see, it looks like gravy almost. Alright, y'all, it's the taste test time. Got a chicken heart on there, a little bit of onion, some chicken leg. That's chicken soup. That is chicken soup. It's thick, creamy, flavor. This is how it should be done, right here. Hardcore chicken soup. Got a little bit of cartilage in there. Wow. That's some good stuff. You guys need to try this. And like I said, the vegetables really don't matter. Just add what you like. But, yeah. Alright. End of story. Give it a shot. I'm going to go eat.